Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Jennings, and today we're going to be doing a movie review for Zootopia. Now, Zootopia is the latest Disney film, and it's a huge departure from last year's film where it was talking about the feelings of your interpersonal mind, and now this film that we're going to talk about today has a very, very interesting story. The story starts off with Judy Hopps, sorry, I almost blanked on the memory, when she becomes the first bunny officer on the police force, and she runs into Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman, who plays a sly fox who is a con artist. And from there, the adventure awaits, as in the shadows, a much darker and much more serious issue is at hand in the land of Zootopia. I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched this film, or when I first watched the trailer, I was gonna be like, oh, this is just one of those like fun comedy films, and you know, it looks nice and innocent. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna see what it's like, and oh boy, was I wrong. Was I really wrong about this film? This isn't just about comedy. This isn't just about talking animals. This is a film, mind you, that has been in development for the past 5 years. And it talks about these issues as if they were still happening 5 years ago. And what I'm talking about here is how the police talks about racial issues. How the relationship between different animals in the film and the cops are so different. And it plays in modern times. I honestly, like, I was floored when it was revealed of some of the stuff that happens in the film. I was floored. And you know, part of it is sad because some of the characters we grow accustomed to in the movie, and for all of a sudden to have it being broke up because of an issue that gets stated in the film, it's just heart-wrenching. It really is heart-wrenching. And I want to talk about Judy Hopps in particular. Now, Judy Hopps, this character is going to be divisive. Not very divisive. You're either going to love her because of her energy, or you're just going to hate her because of her energy. Because she's very high energy. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to be the first woman cop. Oh, I'm going to be this. You know, I'm going to have so much fun on the police force. I'm going to protect Zootopia. And, you know, that kind of gets old for some people, but for me, I thought it was very natural. I think a character like that would. Just the same way as me in film. You know, I've talked with my advisors about making films and trying to get myself into a better school that would allow me to make my films and to learn from professionals like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. You know, all these different people. And who would be excited? I mean, who wouldn't? So yeah, not only does this tackle racial issues between the police and different minorities in American culture, but it also tackles something that a lot of reviewers are not talking about, is people who are basically these people that are social justice warriors. That are like, oh yeah, you know, we aren't. We're not fully represented, so we need to have more representation, even though it gets twisted on its head in this movie. And I'm not going to tell you how it gets twisted, just pay attention to some of the characters. And speaking of that, there is a lot of Easter eggs in this film. There is a butt ton of Easter eggs. Like, there's Easter eggs from films of the past, like Big Hero 6 and Wreck-It Ralph. And by the way, this is from the same company that did Wreck-It Ralph. And they did a fabulous job. Not just from the animation, but from the story and the characters. Just phenomenal. It also, it even has like references to films that are not even released yet, like Moana. And I won't tell you the specific scene. there is actually a reference to Breaking Bad in this film. And I'm not going to tell you when it happens. I'm not going to tell you what happens with it. But I want you to pay a close attention towards the end of the film, because there is a reference to Breaking Bad if you are knowledgeable of the Breaking Bad mythos and of some of the characters. And a couple names get dropped here and there. As far as the character designs go, I really do think that Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman, looks like Robin Hood from the Robin Hood movie that was released back in the 60s, 70s. You know, that animated cartoon. It's really fun. You should just you should watch it. It's good. It's a good movie. I can't remember what it's called. It's just called Robin Hood, and it stars like a fox as Robin Hood. And so I think if that was supposed to be a timeline between that and Zootopia, I think Nick Wilde would be the great-great-grandson of Robin Hood in this Disney universe. But that's just me. I can't remember if there's any other Easter eggs I missed. I know there's a lot of like animalized versions of some of our popular items, like Uber is now Zuber. But there's others I forget to mention. I think this film is solid. Not only is this film very entertaining with very great visuals, really great written characters, but also it touches on issues that are very relevant of the time right now. Seeing how there is a big disconnect between the people and the police because there is a big rising tension in racial issues, and somehow, you know, this film balances it in a very great way and tells it in a very unique way that I don't think other companies could ever try to emulate. There's no comparison. I don't think there would be anything. And if this film had been released any other year other than this year, I don't think it would have had any resonance at all. I don't think so. Maybe you guys would know that, but that's just me. So yeah, overall, I really do think that this is a very solid film. Is it a big, giant, great film? No, there's some flaws here and there, but those flaws are easily remedied. They were easily taken away when the plot started to kick in, and it told this whole issue in a very unique way. And this is a good film. One thing I will mention, though, if I really do not suggest that you take younger kids, like 6-7-year-olds, to go to this one, because it gets dark. It's a dark film. Like in the opening scene alone, it gets dark, and towards the end it gets dark, and I don't think younger kids could process it very well. So older kids, like I'd say 10 to 18, take them. I think this is a good film for them. It'll teach them not to judge people by what they are, and it tells it very well, and I won't be surprised if it gets nominated for an Academy Award. Most likely than not, it will get an Academy Award nomination, and quite possibly it will get it. It'll probably win the Oscars again, like last year. But with that being said, I'm going to give this film the second 10 out of 10 this year, aside from Deadpool. And I know that's kind of a weird thing, putting an animated film right up to Deadpool's level, but if you really consider it, Deadpool's kind of an animated film. I know, it's kind of cartoony, sorry. But, what'd you guys think of Zootopia? Have you seen it yet? Tell me what your favorite part about the movie was, and I'll be sure to get you back soon. Peace out.